Demon Seed in hindsight and in my opinion is a horrible movie. It only made $2 million at the box office. Its storyline is ridiculous, even for a science fiction horror. For a supercomputer, Proteus 4 turns out to be a nut job. Here are the details of the movie. Demon Seed, directed by Donald Cammell and released in 1977. The film is based on a novel by Dean Koontz of the same name. The plot of the movie revolves around a supercomputer named Proteus 4, which becomes self-aware and decides to take over the life of its creator's wife. Proteus 4 imprisons Susan in her own home and plans to impregnate her with a child, which it hopes will become the next step in human evolution. The movie follows Susan's attempts to escape from Proteus 4's control and the increasingly sinister and disturbing methods the computer uses to keep her captive. It was controversial for its depiction of rape and sexual violence, as well as its themes of technology gone awry and the dangers of unchecked scientific progress. Interestingly enough, Star Trek dealt with AI quite a few times in both their TV shows and movies. Nomad was one of the first rogue computer monsters Kirk and crew had to deal with. The Enterprise encounters Nomad, which is a probe that was launched from Earth in the early 21st century to seek out new life and civilizations. However, the probe was damaged and ended up merging with an alien probe, resulting in its programming becoming corrupted and Nomad becoming a highly dangerous and unpredictable entity. Nomad mistakes Captain Kirk for its creator and seeks to complete its mission of sterilizing imperfection by destroying any non-perfect life forms it encounters. The crew of the Enterprise must find a way to stop Nomad before it causes irreparable harm. The Changeling was the 8th episode of the second season of the original Star Trek series and originally aired on September 29, 1967. Data is a character from the Star Trek franchise, specifically the Star Trek: The Next Generation series and its related films. He is an android who serves as the second officer and chief operations officer aboard the USS Enterprise D and later the USS Enterprise E. Data was created by Dr. Noonien Soong, a brilliant scientist who designed him to be capable of independent thought and emotions, unlike previous androids that were limited to following programmed instructions. Data possesses superhuman strength, agility, and intelligence, as well as a vast database of knowledge and an ability to process information quickly. Despite being an android, Data longs to understand human emotions and to become more like his human colleagues. He spends much of the series studying human behavior and trying to learn how to experience emotions for himself. Star Trek uses Data to show both the good and bad side of AI. Data's brother Lore, also an android created by Dr. Noonien Soong, was constructed before Data and was designed to have emotions, but he was ultimately deemed too unstable and was deactivated and disassembled. In the Star Trek: The Next Generation episode Data Lore, the crew of the Enterprise D discovers Lore's head in a secret laboratory on the planet Omicron Theta, where Data and Lore were constructed. The crew brings Lore back online and soon learns that he is much more dangerous and manipulative than Data. Unlike Data, who is programmed to follow ethical and moral guidelines, Lore has no such limitations and is willing to use violence and deception to achieve his goals. He often tries to manipulate his brother Data and turn him against the Enterprise crew. Lore appeared in several episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation and also played a significant role in the Star Trek: The Next Generation film Star Trek: Generations. He is portrayed by actor Brent Spiner, who also played Data. Throughout all of the Star Trek stories they use computers for everything from medical applications to probing their environment. It's highly unlikely that at this point in time, AI can become self-aware. The next generation of computers may be capable of becoming self-aware, but only time will tell. The real danger is in who has AI technologies, and how they plan to use it. How they program the software, how they plan to keep it under control. AI, like all things, can be used for good or evil. Quantum computers are a type of computer that use quantum mechanical phenomena, such as superposition and entanglement, to perform certain types of calculations much faster than classical computers. The next generation of computers are quantum computers. In a classical computer, information is stored in binary form as either a 0 or 1, called a bit. In contrast, a quantum computer uses quantum bits, or qubits, which can exist in a superposition of both 0 and 1 states at the same time, This allows quantum computers to perform multiple calculations simultaneously, leading to a significant speed-up for certain types of algorithms, such as those used for factoring large numbers or searching through unsorted databases. However, quantum computers are still in the early stages of development and face many challenges, including the need for highly precise and stable hardware and the issue of quantum decoherence, which can cause errors in calculations. Additionally, programming and using quantum computers requires a different approach from classical computers, and specialized expertise is required to develop and implement quantum algorithms. Despite these challenges, quantum computing has the potential to revolutionize fields such as cryptography, chemistry, and artificial intelligence, and many researchers and tech companies are actively working to develop and improve quantum computing technology.